Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit betrayawealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
George, there was a Fed survey that showed that 54% of Americans don't expect to work beyond the age of 62. But one of the biggest problems from them that want to retire, one of the things that's holding them back from fully retiring is healthcare coverage. How often does that come up, and how important is to have your healthcare, your long-term care, your healthcare insurance all put together?
Well, it's a huge part of your retirement package. We have some government-issued insurance you can get, and if you've looked at that, I had a customer, they're coming tonight, as a matter of fact, we're going to see them. Dave came, and he's retired, but his husband is younger than 65. So he had to keep his health insurance and pay that exorbitant amount of money through COBRA. Because if not, it's $1,200 a month for someone for a year. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. And people have to plan. So when we say we're going to retire at 62, if we can do it and the plan makes sense, God bless you. But we have to make sure all the pieces of that plan make sense. That's important. That's the things that my job helps me do. I look at the things you don't want to look at, because someone looked at this article and 54% of people are going to retire at 62. Uh-oh. I might have health insurance through work. I have my husband or my wife.
Yeah.
What am I going to do for them? That's the stuff that's my job. And they're the point sometimes, Mark, where I sit there and they say, I'm leaving. I'm like, okay, let's get this done. Oops. I'm not leaving now, because you have to worry about your spouse. I'd rather do that than get into retirement and all of a sudden say, what did I do wrong?
Right.
That's why it's so important, I think, to speak to a financial professional and to come in and meet with me and sit down. Because if it's on the internet, it must be true.
Right.
Everything on the internet is true.
100%.
So we know it's not everything is true. And you need to speak to people that do it every day. Our tagline is taking the gray out of retirement and making it black and white. And what's gray to people? When do I retire? How much is it going to cost me to retire? Can I afford to retire? That's a huge question mark, because it's something that you have never done. When you meet with me, you meet with the team for Medicare, you meet with the management fund, you meet with Ernie for taxes. We go over all these different bases. Once you're on Social Security, that's when the team comes together. And that's what the expertise steps up to the plate. You're going to retire once in your lifetime. And if you're married, maybe you're going to help your spouse retire. Give me the guy that bats every day. Give me the baseball player for the Phillies who are, by the way, Mark's a Braves fan. Phillies are in first place.
Here we go.
Give me the Philly guy that's batting, Bryce Harper, who's playing every day, compared to the guy on the Mark's team, the Braves, that's the batter who plays every fourth or fifth or 12th game. That's all they ever play, and doesn't have that mentality.
They're all playing.
That is what we're looking for, and that's what we do to help our customers. When you call us at 302-330-2166, and by the way, I said when you call us, because one of the team is going to answer that phone call when you call, 302-330-2166, and schedule your no-cost, no-obligation meeting. If you've saved away, squirreled away, $200,000+ for retirement, and that's if you have a managed account, you have a 401k, a 403b, TSP savings, anything earmarked for retirement, you've done a great job. You did a great job of accumulating wealth. Now the job is for Portray Wealth to help you manage that wealth, to build that wealth, and to give you the retirement you want, need, and desire. 302-330-2166.
George, protecting assets and building retirement income. That's what you do for the families you serve. And one of the great opportunities that presents themselves is with an annuity. And we've talked about it before. But the big question is, how do I know if an annuity is going to fit me and my plan? What are some of the questions that are asked about annuities, and what are some of the answers that you have?
You know, it's really funny. Everyone thinks about their fathers and their mothers and fathers. I think about my parents every day. And we keep thinking that things are the same way they were 10, 20, 30 years ago when it comes to annuities. And I always tell people annuities are not your mom's Buick or your dad's Buick, is the old saying. Annuities now, one of the biggest misconceptions is an annuity, once I give my money, it's never my money. And that's not the truth. Okay, that's a misconception. There are different types of annuities, Mark. We have a variable annuity, we have an immediate annuity, we have a deferred annuity, and we have a fixed index annuity. And they have the same title of annuity, but they're different. Let's think about the word annuity first before we go there.
Okay.
What's Social Security? It's an annuity. If you're blessed to have a pension, if you work for the federal government, you need to call us at 302-330-2166. If you work for the state of Delaware, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, you're a teacher, state trooper, you need to call us at 302-330-2166 so we can talk to you about how your pension works. Pension.
Is there, and I hate to interrupt you, but for the federal employees out there, the government employees, are there special strategies?
Absolutely.
That's not for the private sector?
Absolutely. There are different, and I always use this word, I know I offend people, but it is what it is. They're a special animal, a different animal, because their pension, their retirement package is so much different than Boeing down the road.
Right.
It's so much different than the old DuPont or the Christiana Hospital ones that we deal with every day. It's special. And there's bells and whistles and opportunities to maximize your benefits, because really when it comes down to it, folks, you're not there to work for your benefits. Your benefits are there to work for you. And we structure it to work for you, exactly how we do it.
Right.
So we talk about variable annuity. A variable annuity is you have volatility. It can go up in value, go down in value. I might as well be in the stock market with taking on additional risk. An immediate annuity and deferred annuity are the same animal, just a timeline difference. Immediate today, you give your money to an insurance company, and they are going to give you, based on your age, a certain amount of money every month for the rest of your life. And let's say that number is $500 a month.
Okay.
They'll start that in 30 days after they get the money, and you'll get a check for $500 from now until your last moment. But what happens if, and I use my sons, Alex and Jared, all the time.
Right.
What happens if Jared calls me and says, Dad, I have a problem. I need $10,000 this month. I need a new roof on my house, Pop. I call the annuity company, insurance company, and I say, listen, I need an additional $10,000 this month, and then give me my $500 later. And Mrs. Jones at the annuity company, says, well, I'm really sorry to hear that, Mr. Johnson. I'm sorry to hear that, but your check for $500 will be there on the 1st. Have a nice day. That money I gave to them is no longer my money.
Yeah.
I have no control. And anyone that's ever met me knows I like to have control.
Yeah.
The deferred annuity is waiting 12 months more. Same principle. I get what I get. I can never run out of cash flow, but I can run out of money. But I have no control over it.
Right.
I'm not a fan of that. There are some customers that need that. Most of my customers do not. And we work with other avenues to give them what they need. And then the fourth one is an indexed annuity, where you're going to have a guarantee. The guarantee is that the world is a heck in a handbag. I will never lose a cent of my money. So I start with $300,000. The world goes crazy. That I will never, you heard that word, right? Never, you can put underlines on right now in your notes in the car where you're driving, lose a cent of that money. My $300,000, if the world goes to hell in a handbag and the markets crash, I have $300,000 tomorrow. I'm safe, I'm good, I'm there. And I use the analogy, I love the circus. I kind of look like I could belong in the circus at times. And do you ever see the person walking the high wire act? They're very talented people. But sometimes they miss, don't they?
Yeah.
And they fall.
Every now and then it happens.
And what catches them?
A safety net.
Safety net. That's your annuity. It's a safety net. No matter what the world happens, I can never go backwards. But you also get an opportunity to share in the upsides of the market. So the markets go up 10%, 12%. We're going to go up some too. We're going to share in that wealth, but we have none of the downside risk. But is annuity the right fit for everything, all your money? Probably not, and it shouldn't be. Because even though I'm in retirement, Mark, I still need to get bigger and stronger.
To say with an annuity, great opportunity. Shouldn't put all your money in an annuity, but it's not bad to have one.
Correct.
Okay.
Because my job is to give you 3, 4, even 5 reliable, dependable, and sustainable avenues of income in retirement.
So we're going to have Social Security, fingers crossed.
God willing.
If we don't have a pension, we don't have a TSP, we're not lucky enough to have one, another opportunity could be that annuity.
Correct.
Okay.
So some money will go into annuity, and some money will go into managed funds that we're going to manage for you.
Sure.
So what's nice about what we're doing in our managed fund portfolio, and we have an unbelievable proprietary program we use. The standard that everyone looks at is the S&P 500. That's what we see on the news at nighttime if you watch the mainstream media. We don't talk about that. But if you see that, you see how the Dow did today. With our proprietary program, Mark, we are outperforming the S&P with less volatility. So if the market's up 8, 9, 10%, we're up 10, 12, 15%. But more importantly with that, managed funds, when it's down 5, 10, 20%, like we've seen in the last year, we're down 2, 3, 5%. But you still need that risk. And it's so important that we use the rules of 100 when we talk about this. The rule of 100 is you take 100 minus your current age, and the difference is what we can afford to have in riskier investments for retirement. Okay? Mark, I'm not going to use your age because you look much older than you are.
Oh, thank you.
Let's take a person 65 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, so 65% of their retirement assets, as a rule, should have money in fixed index.
Okay.
30% of that money should be in managed funds, and 5% is in emergency funds. The what-if moments that I need every day.
Sure.
And we have a blend. We have a mix of that. We do all that in-house to make sure, because my job is to make sure that you get to wake up every day and do everything you wanted to do, that we plan to do, that you desire to do, and even those bucket list things that come up out of nowhere.
Yes, sir.
When you call us at 302-330-2166, that's 302-330-2166, schedule that no-cost, no-obligation meeting. We're going to go over that. If you've saved $200,000 plus for retirement, give us a call, 302-330-2166, and let's start the process to get the Family First Retirement Plan built for you, because I use the word built purposely because we're all different.
Every plan is different.
It's not the same for Mark, for George, for Angie, for Achilles, for Ernie. It's built to your needs, wants, and desires.
You know, I'm looking at your whiteboard right now here in your conference room, and it's not like plan A, plan B, plan C. Pick one and let's do that. There's nothing wrong with asking the question, where am I? How am I doing? Again, I can't stress this enough with George Politarhos and the team. You become part of the family. Stress-free environment. They just want to help you customize that Family First retirement plan, and it's no cost, it's no obligation. 302-330-2166. You're going to sit literally at this table.
That's the drums?
You're going to play the drums if you want to, and get put together that Family First retirement plan, and it's no cost and it's no obligation.
Insurance and annuities offered through George A. Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.